So welcome for those just joining. Welcome to today's presentation on the power of strategic segmentation. Today's presentation is brought to you by myself, Marlon King. I look after sales here at Spotler in the UK, and I've also got my colleague Savina on the call.
Hello.
So it's a relatively quick, snappy webinar today. We're going to go through a couple of use cases, and Savina's going to go through the product demonstration, and then we're going to have a minute or two at the end just for some wrap-up questions to make sure everything's making sense and everybody's happy with the information. So use cases. Today's session is focused on our B2B products, and this is the use case. So strategic segmentation, the lead management solution. So we're going to be looking at the traffic on your website and identifying anonymous companies using reverse IP tracking and also by dropping cookies. So we've really got a good awareness of who is on our website. We're then looking at their behavior, so web and browser behavior, to see sort of what they're interested in, but also where they are in the life cycle or the sales cycle. Are they at a very early stage where they're just browsing for information, or are they showing high buying intent at that advanced stage, in which case we want to treat them very differently. We are also bringing in digital activities. So again, to understand what their preferred channels are and how they're engaging with all of the content that we're putting out across our digital footprint. Targeted campaigns. So then once we've built up all of this rich data set, all of this information, we can take a more data-driven approach, and we can begin to target people in smarter and more specific ways based on all of these different data points. So firstly, the life cycle stage, what we've already spoken about already. So is somebody at very early stages? Are they just looking for information? Versus somebody that's in the more advanced stage or somewhere in the middle, we want to give them different messages and different information and treat them with a different degree of urgency as well. Are they already engaged prospects? Again, we want to treat those people very differently to if they're new, completely new, we haven't spoken to them before. We're looking at their source, so have they come from social channels? Are they already engaging with our emails? Are they at risk of unsubscribing? Are they happy with the information that we're sending them? We're going to look at all of these data points. And then repeat pricing page. So are they coming onto certain pages lots and lots? So we would have high intent pages and pricing page being one of those. So for that, either we might want a notification to the sales team straight away, or we might want to use that to send out to trigger automations because that would show a high degree of buying intent. So I'm now going to hand over to Savina to take you through some of these in the product demonstration.
Awesome. Thanks, Marlon. So let me share my screen. So what you can see on my screen is our CRM product. So this is part of our B2B offering, which is the system that centralizes all of the data that you gather from your website, from your emails. Everything is combined into one place in order for you to be able to create these segmentations and decide exactly how you want to split the information in order to target them more specifically, more personalized. But before I show you a couple of bits in the system, let me explain how it works in terms of actually being able to track your data on your website. So we have a product called SpotlerLeads. SpotlerLeads is the engine that allows what Marlon mentioned earlier, the tracking of companies that visit your website. This is done via as Marlon said, reverse IP lookup. So what happens is you have a script that is set on your website. This script visits, of course, every visit on your website, and based on the IP address of that visit, we're able to determine the company name and display that company name if it's a publicly listed company. And then that information therefore is passed into CRM, which is what you see on the screen now. Um, it's not only the actual company name that we're able to display, it's also when that visit happened, what pages this company has actually been to on the website, what have they visited just the homepage, have they visited products or service pages, have they filled in any forms, or have they actually downloaded if you have any resources. So all of these pieces of information allow you to determine also, are they existing customers, are they prospects, are they someone that is actively engaging with the content on your website, and if they are, within CRM, you're able to segment that data and target them based on all of that knowledge we've gathered. So that being said, what you can see on my screen is the accounts section of CRM. This allows you to see and segment all of the companies you have within the system, brought in from other CRM products you might have, brought in from the leads engine that captures the activity on the website. But it's a extensive list of all of these companies, and from there you can categorize them, segment, qualify, and create reports, so you can get notified every time a company that matches your criteria reaches that level. From thereafter, you can create a list. That list can be then pushed, if you're using our ESP solution, Mail Plus, to target them specifically, as we said at the beginning, with nurture campaigns, automation, whether that's for brand new leads, someone you don't really know much about yet, or someone that has been regularly seen on the website. All of this can be done with segmentation you can create here within the CRM solution. So here at the top, you can see I have a little filter that allows me to see the source of where these companies that are displayed are coming from. And in this case, that's leads, because we want to see all of the companies that have been recognized on the website. From thereafter, each of these companies then presents opportunity to see exactly where they've been, when, and choose what to do with that data moving forward, in terms of pass it on to the relevant salesperson or pass it on for an email campaign. So let me search for us as a company so we can open that example. You have obviously a column of preview data. What's important in here is these little scores, which are customizable as columns. To be fair, you don't have to have all of them displayed, but in essence, what the scores represent is the engagement rate of this particular company on your website. This is done again as part of the leads, SpotlerUK setup. And what that means is, whenever a company visits any page on the website, this page typically is given a score. The more pages these companies visit, the higher the score, and the score could be different for different time periods. But if you're looking to the most recently engaged companies that have been recognized on the website, probably you would be looking at the score for the last day or two, or the last week at most. And this would be a metric you can use to determine the recency of this contact and the level of engagement based on what they have seen on the website. So what you can see here, when we open the account, we have the standard kind of a company information. You have a name, address, if that's available, and then we have the web insights. So this allows you to see exactly kind of when engagement has happened. Do we have more of an information about that company than just the company name and address as it is above? So if this company has come on the website on the back of any kind of PPC campaign, social campaign based on redirected UTM links or an email campaign as well, we can actually display that as well, because we're able to track the UTMs that are passed through the URL. So also you have the ability to add contacts. So it's not only about being able to identify the companies on the website, it's also the opportunity to identify the email addresses. So who from that company has visited the website, where have they been, and how can I use that data? There's two ways. Within the B2B solution, you can actually identify email addresses and associate them with the accounts. One of them is just regular emails. I mentioned if you're using Mail Plus, when you send an email that redirects with a link towards the website, this email is then recognized as coming from that source and associated with the company that has been recognized by the leads engine, which then means you don't only know the company that visits, but who and exactly what pages have been visited, meaning you can now target that email address with specific personalized communication because you have the knowledge of what pages and when they have visited. And then another way of actually being able to identify an email address is not through the regular marketing emails you might be sending, but with a tool within the leads engine itself called Pearl. This is essentially a personalized URL that allows you to cookie someone's browser one-to-one. So this tool is designed for you to reach out to maybe prospects directly in a one-to-one email communication, and then allows us to identify them and their browser. So any subsequent visit on your website is then tracked, so you know exactly where this particular prospect has been. And again, this helps because once you have all of that data in one place in Spotler CRM, what that means is you can extract the pieces of data you need for the different use cases you want to achieve. So maybe you want to create a report or an audience that is based around the location of someone, of company, or an email address. So if we have obviously the address on a company, that means you can say, okay, I want to create a report that is based on companies within my local area. So I can create a campaign that is specifically for them because they're kind of close by. We can do kind of a meet and greets or whatever else event that might be achievable within that close proximity. So all of that information is stored here. And as I said, you have the contacts that once an email address is identified, you can use them in communication. But you also have activities that are kind of explaining exactly where and how these people have been engaging with the website. And you can see here at the kind of towards the bottom of this account view, you have the digital activities log. So this is the place where it logs every single link that this account in general has been visiting on the website. And it's categorized as a website hit. You know exactly when, what time, what link, and this gives you that knowledge that I've been talking about to be able to segment your data. So all that information, as I said, could be found under the account, and also all that information can be segmented within reports that you can run. You can schedule these reports to run on a one-off when you need them, or on a regular basis. But these reports again allow you to extract that data in a structured way that allows you to see everything in front of you and then decide what to do with it afterwards. Do you need to create a campaign on the back of it or anything like that? So I have a campaign report already prepared, if I can find it. It's always easier to just search. There you go. So the report is very similar visually to what you just saw under the account, in the sense of the information that can be featured into that report is the same one you might see under the account. You just need to select the metrics that are relevant for you. As I mentioned earlier, you can kind of maybe want to segment only companies and leads and prospects that have been registered within the region where your actual company is based in. In that case, you have your fields here on the left-hand side for building your report, and you have also criteria you can choose. So you can choose postcode or kind of a address, which is essentially drag and drop kind of movement you grab. So you choose the field you want to actually use and you drag it to the right hand side where it's the kind of the fields that will feature in your report will be sitting. So you can add a value from here. You have the option, you can see kind of a different options to choose from, greater, equal. So if it's an address, you can say, I want that to be equal to Guildford, for example. So you have all of these options based on the information we host for these accounts and exactly where they have been to generate your report, essentially. And you can run it kind of whenever you want. You can schedule it. So it's kind of a report layout set for you and ready to be run when you need the data to be actually generated. And it's very easy and kind of a centralized way to see all of the data and be able to use it right on the spot. And then the last bit, which is a kind of very similar to this, to the generating of the reports, which consists of essentially you choosing what metric is valuable for you in this moment. So whether that's the lead score, if you're considering prospects and leads on the websites being identified, do I want to identify or kind of report on the location, or do I want to report based on the actual score these leads have generated, which goes back to what I said about your leads visiting the URLs on the website and this URL actually accumulating a score. The other thing you can do is with the which similar to reports is create lists. So what we saw here, the report is going to be able to display all of that data you want. See it, obviously decide what to do with it within CRM. But also if you create that into lists, what that means is this lists can then be synced within your MailPlus ESP in order to send to them the relevant campaigns, as I said, nurture journeys, any kind of specific product related journeys. So maybe you want to send a campaign that focuses on a specific area of the website. So people have visited X URL that I don't know, lists a specific service. If that's the case, you can create the list here because you can segment based on, I know the website URL that has been hit. I'm going to pop it in and I'm going to create the list, sync that list with MailPlus, and actually physically send them that email campaign. And this is really it for today. So we've learned what it means to actually identify companies as leads on the website. We've learned where to look at that data within CRM and how we can create reports that can help us in the day-to-day run and also help us how to actually regulate the prospects and kind of pass that data on if we need to. So I'm going to go back to the slides and I suppose we're going to open the floor for any questions. So feel free to drop your questions in the questions box. So we're going to stick around for a few minutes to answer them all for you. So let's have a look.
Thank you very much for that, Savina. That was beautifully done. Yes, we are going to stick around for a few moments just in case there are any questions. But if anybody did want to find out more information and see some of this stuff in a bit more detail, we'd love to speak on a one-to-one basis. You're more than welcome to go to our website and put in a demo request. We also we have trials available as well, so we can set you up with an account to play around with some of the features and functionality. And yeah, we'd love to speak if this could be of use to your business. Amazing.
Um,
Well, yeah, thank you very much for your time, everyone. And yeah, please feel free to reach out if there's anything further we can help you with. All the best.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone. Bye bye.